Will a live stream work? No idea. But I did just drive half an hour to get cell service. So, hopefully something works. That'd be nice. I'm missing stuff right now, just so you know. But you guys are important to me. Okay. Let's see what we can find out. And then I'm going to head back to my retreat. No daily bread in the morning tomorrow. I've got stuff I got to do in the morning tomorrow, but I'll probably try and catch it on the way home, or maybe there'll be a daily bread in the afternoon. Genesis 23, verse 2. So Sarah died in Kirjath Arba, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan, and Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. So, Kirjath Arba means city of Arba, who was the father of Anak, of the Anakim. There's just a bonus fact for anybody who's into the Anakim and all that stuff. The greatest among the Anakim, from Joshua 14:15. So there's just a interesting thing there. So, you guys. All right. So, Abraham stood up from before his dead and spoke to the sons of Heth, saying, I am a foreigner and a visitor among you. Give me property for a burial place among you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. And the sons of Heth answered Abraham, saying, Hear us, my lord, you are a mighty prince among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of our burial places. None of us will withhold from you his burial place, that you may bury your dead. Then Abraham stood up and bowed himself before the people of the land of the sons of Heth, and he spoke with them, saying, If it is your wish that I bury my dead out of my sight, hear me, and meet with Ephron the son of Zohar for me, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah, which he has, which is at the end of his field. Let him give it to me at full price, as property for a burial place among you. Now Ephron dwelt among the sons of Heth, and Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham in the presence of the sons of Heth and all who entered, saying, No, my lord, hear me. I give you the field and the cave that is in it. I give it to you in the presence of the sons of my people. I give it to you. Bury the dead. Then Abram bowed himself down before the people of the land and spoke to Ephron in the hearing of the people and said, If you will give it, please hear me. I will give you money for the field. Take it from me, and I will bury my dead. My lord, listen to me. It just keeps going, right? The land is worth 400 shekels of silver. But what is that between you and me? So bury your dead. And Abraham listened to Ephron, and Abraham weighed out the silver for Ephron, which he had named in the hearing of the sons of Heth. 400 shekels of silver, the currency of the merchants. So in the field of Ephron, which was in Machpelah, which was before Mamre, the field of the cave, which was in it, and all the trees that were in the field, which were within all the surrounding of the borders, were deeded to Abraham as a possession in the presence of the sons of Heth, before all who went to the gate of his city. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machpelah, before Mamre, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. So the field of the cave that is in it were deeded to Abraham by the sons of Heth as a property for a burial place. Lots of reading. But I'm not going to get into all the fun history and geography stuff. There's some really cool stuff about Hebron. And I've never been to Hebron, if you want to get Hebrew on us. I want to go there because the tomb of the patriarchs, where these guys are all buried, is right there. Still there. You can go visit it. But there's something important in here. And this is just a simple truth that you all should be pretty familiar with. But let's remember it now, okay? So the simple truth is that notice how Abraham refused to receive the field for free. He wanted to pay for it. This makes me think about like 2 Samuel or 1 Chronicles. I guess you can go to either one. But I'm going to go right to the back of 2 Samuel. Going on to the very end here. And David was trying to purchase the Temple Mount. What would become the Temple Mount? The threshing floor of Onan. And what happens is he says, no, you can take it. It's the same story, right? But David says in 2 Samuel 24:24, no, but I will surely buy it from you for a price. Nor will I offer burnt offerings to Yahweh my God with that which costs me nothing. God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. See, God so loved the world that he gave his Son. God's love was demonstrated to us at great cost. And today, the church and many of us are facing a serious pandemic, because it's worldwide, where Christians want to be Christians as long as it doesn't cost them. As long as it doesn't interfere with my career plans, as long as it doesn't interfere with my budget, as long as it doesn't interfere with my sports schedule, as long as it doesn't interfere with what my desires for my life are, well, then I'd love to be a Christian. And God, you know I love you and you're great as long as it doesn't cost me. And yet, God's own love was demonstrated to us by giving his Son. And we look at the patriarchs, we look at Abraham, we look at David, and they had this mentality in them that ought to be in us. We should expect it's going to cost us some earthly fodder to love our Lord. That this stuff that's all going to burn one day, that I might have to give a little bit of it up. I might have to give up some of my time. I might have to give up some of my pleasantries to really serve and love the Lord. To say yes to your bride or to your groom is to say no to all others. That's part of getting married. We have to realize if I'm making a commitment to marry someone, it means I'm committing to say no to everyone else. And if I really want to be married to God, knit together, intimately connected, then I need to be ready when I realize that I might need to say no to some stuff that I would love to go do, love to watch, love to have. But at the end of the day, what is more important? At the end of the day, what truly is your God? And it doesn't mean we don't have hobbies. It doesn't mean we never save up to buy something nice, right? It just means that, come on, church, it shouldn't be a shocker that we might need to miss out on the Sunday morning service because we're going to go downstairs and serve the children's ministry. We might need to miss out on Sunday night football because I realize that I can watch the replay of that, but I can't replay the gathering of God's children together. You know, last Sunday night as we were laying hands on people and praying for people, you don't catch that on a rerun. You only catch that live. That's something you don't want to catch the rerun of. You want to be there and you want to be a part of what's going on. Again, there's so many things where people are all in until it costs them. And then it's like, wow, you know, I like this church right up until they told me something I didn't want to hear. And so Abraham refused to have a free burial plot for his bride because he loved her. And she was important enough, even if it's the same place. It's not like he could have had the same place, whether he paid or not. It wasn't like it was the fact that, no, like, it's the place for her, but I'm going to pay for it too because she was worth paying for it. And when I think about my Lord, you're worth paying for. You're worth me sacrificing something. And when we think about Romans 12, where it talks about presenting our bodies, our whole lives and selves, all that we are, as a living sacrifice. It's one thing to die once. It's another thing to live daily. which is your reasonable service. You see, I can't buy God's love. I can't buy God's affection. He doesn't love me because I do things. He loves me in spite of my faithfulness. And yet, the more I come to know him, the more I've come to realize just how reasonable giving him everything is. So, evaluate, really. The things that I've missed church for, the things that I have missed devotions for, the things that I have not tithed for, the things that I have not, all these things that cost. They cost us our entertainment, they cost us our time, they cost us a little sleep, it costs us some money. I mean, these are all the things that cost. Was it really worth it? I mean, at the end of the day, was it really worth it? And so, have this mind in you from here forward that it might cost, and it ought to cost. It is something where an engagement ring, can be an expensive thing, and some of us spend more than others. But I think some people are just so happy to be married they could care less. But at the flip side, it is something about, when you're presenting something valuable, costly, to show that I care. And when we give our pocket change, it really shows how little we care. One reason I like having the box at our church and not having a plate that gets passed is because I know it would be a stumbling point to me, and it has been in my past, long before I was a pastor, to see people kind of just reach in their pocket and see what was there and put that in a plate and pass it on, because is that what God is to you? It's whatever I find in my pocket, God, I'll give you that. It's not a money thing, but it's a good example. I'll give you what I have. I'll give you what's left over. I'll give you what's convenient. Or, God, I want to give you, and I'm not going to give you anything cheap. I'm going to give you costly time, costly sleep. I believe in a costly grace. It's free to me, but it costs God an awful lot. And so I live accordingly in reflection of that. All right, I've got a half an hour drive behind me to get back to where I was. So I'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon sometime. I'll hop on then. So God bless you guys. Have an amazing day, and I will see you around. I've never been out here. It's really nice. Look at all these rolling hills. Hey, look at that. Okay. See you guys.